I think mindfulness is often seen as this activity where you super relax and let go of everything. And that's right, but in doing that, it's really quite an active process that you have to work quite hard at. So it might look like you are laying, sitting, completely chill, but all the time you're doing that, you are working really hard to be present, and that's where the discipline of the practice can come in. I like to sit actively while I'm meditating, so right now I'm sitting on the floor with my legs crossed. I know that's not available to everybody, excuse me, so you can sit on a seat, but if you are sitting on a seat, perhaps keep your body upright and active, move away from the back of the chair so you're not leaning backwards. And you could lay down as well. Some people keep their eyes open, some prefer to close them. I switch it up, to be honest. It depends on the activity I'm doing. And the idea is to really focus in on being present. So I think usually through our days we'll hear all kinds of little voices in our heads, thoughts jumping in. Some of those are really juicy, and it's really quite nice to follow those rabbit holes, especially if it's things like planning positive events or what you're going to have for tea. I often go down that rabbit hole. And or they can be destructive but similarly juicy. So worrying about the what ifs, how somebody's going to receive something that you've said, what might happen in the future with our economy, what's going on with politics. Those things are in my head a lot, and the process and practice of mindfulness is a way that I work hard to give myself some space beyond them. So in that sense, the idea is that you notice what's happening in your body as well as your mind, and it's okay, those things do come, and that's just normal. The active part is in noticing them coming in and then just letting them go again. Working really hard, and it is hard, to not grab onto those thoughts, to go, oh yeah, there's another thought, let it go. Oh, there's another one. Oh, the same one's back. Over and over and over again. And keep noticing, let go, noticing, let go. And it is a tricky thing to do. And that, it does require a lot of discipline and practice, because you get better at it, and the better you get at it, the more rewarding it is, I think. But it's certainly tricky. So when you've got loads on your mind and you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, like there's too much to handle, too much to focus on, too much to do, you've got that kind of, however stress feels in your body, for me, I kind of get like a twisty chest feeling, my tummy kind of does butterfly rumbly spark things. When I notice these things, I know that I'm getting too heightened and need to take a step back. And I'm fortunate right now that I have lots of time to take step backs. If you're a busy parent, you're working a fast-paced job, it's harder, and there are little mindfulness techniques you can use to help you with them, but I do recognise not everybody can sit for 10 minutes staring at a plant not doing a lot. I'm just fortunate I can right now, and I thought I'd share that with you. In terms of those little activities you can do, so when I worked in schools, I found myself often in situations where tensions were extremely heightened and they were quite challenging, and there was a lot going on, and I would have to work very hard to keep handle on myself, because I have a class of small humans looking to me for the right way to act, guidance, reassurance and soothing, and it's only human, that's challenging for us all. So I would use, I've forgotten what the actual proper name of it is, but I'd call it the 3-minute miracle. This activity, 3-step miracle, it doesn't take 3 minutes, or it can, anyway. So this activity is one of those little things you can have up your sleeve when you start to feel overwhelmed. When we start mindfulness, or when I started mindfulness, the first steps in developing my practice were to do a lot of body scan meditations to teach me to recognise how things feel in my body and to notice. So the first step of the 3-step miracle is you say to yourself, to be me right now feels like this. And I would do a little body scan and notice that maybe I was a bit shaky, or maybe I'd got clammy palms or something. So you spend a moment just being in yourself and noticing what that's like. The next thing you do is really focus on your breath. So take a couple of really deep breaths and really notice how that feels. Going in, coming out, going in, coming out. Really focus on it. And then the last step is to expand your focus. So the way I like to do it is I spend a moment noticing everything I can hear and really concentrating on what the sounds are in detail, which in a busy class is interesting. Yeah, it's amazing what you can pick up after a bit. And then you crack on with your day again. And it just helps refocus and calm you when you notice intentions are high. Okay, so on to how I use houseplants for mindfulness. I've chosen this one because it's got a lot going on for it with its fuzzy leaves and colours. And what I would do first of all in my mindfulness practice is take a moment just noticing the overall shape of the plant, kind of maybe fixing my eyes on one particular leaf and kind of plotting with my brain the overall shape, noticing what it looks like, and taking a moment to breathe while I'm doing this, noticing what's popping in my head and letting it go again. And when it comes back, letting it go again. It's normal that things pop in our heads. Just need to keep letting them go. And then I might choose a particular leaf. So my eyes right now are focusing on this one in particular because I can see a bit of the underside of it here. And the way the light catches the hairs just on the top's amazing. So I would choose a particular leaf and spend a few minutes really looking at the detail on it, the tiny little hairs, the rough edges, the way it connects to its stem. Taking some nice breaths at the same time. Tracing my eyes around the outside of it, around the edges of the leaf. Looking at the tip. And then I might focus on the tip, keep my eyes fixed on that point, but see what I can trace around in my peripheral vision. Then I might move to looking only at stems, noticing the colour changes, the texture changes, the angles, directions that it's growing in. Breathing deep, noticing what pops in my head, let it go again. Looking at each tiny little hair on the stems, noticing how my eyes can focus on those things. I might then choose a leaf. I'll choose this one with a different angle even. Have a really good look at it. See how it's formed. Breathing deep, letting go of the thoughts, noticing them letting go. And then I might start to see how it feels to my finger. Maybe a different finger. Repeating over and over the same motion. Really experiencing what it feels like to each little part of my thumb. Try around the edges. Really just taking some time to really notice this leaf. So at its core, that's how mindfulness and plants, or one of the ways that it can work for me, is when I really just zone in on this plant right now, right here, in all its amazingness, even with its crispy bits. They're still beautiful and amazing. It's growing, it's happy. It's overcoming previous adversity by the looks of things. And this doesn't take very long to do this. You don't have to be seated and spend time deep breathing and doing a quick body scan or whatever. You know, this is something that I would do when I get up in the morning and I'm feeling a bit rough. I might just really zone in on a leaf for a few minutes and just calm my head. This is something that does work for me. It makes me feel better, makes me feel closer to nature, to progress and new growth, moving forward. And it is really good for my mental health. So I hope in sharing it a little bit, it's helpful for you too. I think it does take a while because at first you probably feel a bit silly maybe, but over time you get better at it, and it's amazing how your perception can change and develop. And we have so many, well, most of us have so many amazing plants in our homes. They're a perfect focus for this kind of meditative practice. So I would definitely encourage you to have a go. I could probably put together a script of kind of prompts to guide a houseplant meditation. I might try that in my next video and see if that's any good to you. Let me know, see what you think.